Welcome to the Kid Contractor Podcast with Caleb Auman. On this show, we interview top green industry, construction, and business professionals. Your host, Caleb, runs a successful 7-figure business with his wife, Brittany, and has over 20 years in the industry. The kid has learned some valuable lessons he wants to share with you. The principles discussed will energize and empower you to crush your goals. And now, from the Company Cam Studios, the Kid Contractor Podcast with your host, Caleb Auman.
The more I think about it, it's like really bad optics here. But this is what we do on the way home from a lot of road trips. Hey, everybody. What's up? We're live on the podcast here, live on Instagram. We're supposed to be, Britt, get in there and say, you know, the goal is here, folks are going to ask us. I don't know,
this is your idea.
This is craziness. So, folks, ask us questions. We're going to put it in podcast. We'll even give you a mention. We'll give you a shout out on the podcast here. So, live
DB Landscaping says, yo.
Heading down the road here, we're leaving. You watch for questions, and in the meantime, we're
you
just
watch for
talk.
Driving.
So, we're rolling down the road here. Go ahead, Britt.
What?
Well, you're acting like you're going to say something. So we're just leaving a project in Wilmington, Ohio, a commercial stormwater project there, redoing some riprap and a EDP, energy dissipation pad, down over a lot steeper hillside than I anticipated with our rental Cat 308. It was a fun time there, rolling on hill. Got real comfortable with it, and now I think I'm the man. So that's when you actually get yourself in trouble, right? Britt, how do you feel the project went?
I was happier with it than you were. You had like way higher expectations.
Yeah, I wanted
that
it
were
done
actually
last
necessary.
night. Yeah.
So I thought we would be there today. I was not surprised. So
ask folks how the audio is there.
Is audio okay?
Can you hear us since we're talking here? And over the hum of those beautiful, the redneck serenade of those Mastercraft MXT tires.
Okay, audio must be okay because people are asking questions.
Okay, cool. Let's hit some questions here. Passing Vermeer, Heartland Vermeer, a sponsor of Together in the Trade. So thank you.
Someone asked, what is the conversation if you get pulled over? Maybe they would be on the podcast.
We could put the law enforcement officer. Hopefully it's not Mitchell Gordy. That's all I can.
Okay.
Or maybe we hope it's Mitchell Gordy. I don't know.
I think we hope that it's Mitchell Gordy.
Yeah.
Okay. Jake's Morton says that this seems safe.
I think it's totally safe. We do roadshow podcasts all the time, and this is a hands-free headset, and Britt's not driving, so she can manage most of that stuff. I'm just driving and yakking, so
okay. I
think we're good.
Trent Case wants to know how we started, probably.
How we started?
How did you start?
In contracting?
Probably.
I started mowing grass, just like everybody does, it seems, in the green industry. And
we call mowing grass the gateway drug to construction.
Yeah, it is the gateway drug to construction. It's awful. And we started mowing grass, and I wanted to get into environmental construction, landscape construction, hardscape construction, all that kind of stuff. And so we started doing it. And I went to school at Columbus State Community College, and my GoPro fell over. Oh no! And started doing that, and then here we are, 20 years later, an overnight success. So that was our brief start. Well, then I crashed that company 10 years in. Britt and I got together, and she started a new company after I crashed that one, and that's the rest is history. And that was 12 years ago now. That's hard to believe.
Brittany Nicole, is that you? Yes, that is me.
Brittany Nicole.
Hello from Nebraska.
Hey, Nebraska, what's up?
Jason Creel was in here for a little bit.
Hey, Creel. The lawn care life there, folks.
Brett Goodyear says, would you rather have a robot mow your lawn or Brian Fullerton?
Oh, Brian Fullerton all day long. Not paying him, of course, as a indentured servant, maybe. But no, I would never pay Brian to mow my grass, ever. But
I don't think Brian would ever pay you to mow grass for him, period.
Well, I don't want to mow grass ever again, so hopefully we don't end up there.
I want a robot mower, though.
Yeah, robot mower would be the way to go, and that is something I would have I want to have a robot mower to mow the shop. And when we get the final grade done and everything at our new facility, which is we're currently in building, so check out the YouTube channel, all that stuff. I want to have a robot mower at our shop, and I intend on it. So Husqvarna, Steel, I don't really care. Brett Goodyear there, check out him, Brett's Grasscapades on YouTube there. But he's got robot mowers. He real cuts his yard because he's a psychopath. And him and Alan Hain do some cool stuff down there in the great free state of Florida. So.
All right. Bob Weaver says, Caleb will talk. We'll talk soon about monarchs and catch up.
Yes, I need to return your text, Bob. Sorry, man. I'm busy doing stuff like this.
I'm sure we can respond to a text message while we're doing this. Okay. Looking forward to being on the podcast. Then Ben Bobcat Holmes says, would you try the MT100?
I'm not a fan of the MT100.
Didn't you look at those when you were at Bobcat the other day?
Yeah, and the ergonomics of the machine is kind of clunky. Get it if you have a Bobcat dealer, you'll love it. You will freaking love it. But I do prefer the Ditch Witch. Ultimately, the ergonomics of the machines, the design, it's a good looking machine.
I mean, I don't even know what availability on any machines are right now, because we put a order in for a Ditch Witch 1550 in November last year, like right after Equip, and it was supposed to be here in April, and they lost my number. I haven't heard from
Yeah, they literally have not gotten back with you.
No update, no nothing. And I signed the contract for it. So, yeah, I don't know. Can you get in the MT100 now? Because I guess if you were in a position to get one, but a Ditch Witch was a year out, I don't think that would be worth it.
Go left.
Just because you don't like the hand controls.
Yeah, well, and it just, the operator platform, all that stuff, I'm just not a fan. But any skid steer loader, mini skid steer loader you can get your hands on, you won't regret it at all. I promise you that. So if you claim to be a landscaper and do landscaping and you don't have a mini skid steer loader at least, you need to be jumping into that immediately because it will revolutionize your company. And
the first one we bought was very, 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 very used.
I wonder where you're going with that. Yeah, very used, to say the least. Yeah.
From an equipment rental yard. So you don't have to buy brand new. Just buy what you can afford at the time. The best thing that you can buy, you can afford to buy at the time.
Yeah, and be it you put down 10% or 30% down on it and finance the rest. And that's if you do a lot of landscaping. If you find yourself renting a machine enough that you could make a payment on it, I think it's time to buy a machine. Even if you got to do it in debt, I'd be very careful with that, of course.
Well, the way I paid for ours really quickly was every time that it went out, because we should be charging for the machine every time that it goes out anyway. So every job you should be recovering your costs on that machine. And so what I would do is whatever we were renting it for, because we were renting our machine, or renting a machine from whatever, I don't know where we were renting from. But anyway, that doesn't even matter. But say it was like $250 a day to rent it, or a week, I would immediately make that payment towards our loan that we got for it. So I may have been, even if we used it like twice a week, I might put $500 a week on that machine just to get that paid off, because I wasn't comfortable going into any more debt when I started restarted the company.
Right.
So that was one way that I felt more comfortable doing it. I still just charged the rental fee, or I still just applied the rental fee to the loan every week.
And every time you send a machine out on a job anyways, especially if you use an estimating software like we use LMN, so every time a machine goes on a job, it's allocated. The cost of that machine is allocated to that job to pay it back, put that cash in the bank, or however you're financing or whatever, and also put more money in the bank, because the machines are supposed to make you money. That's why we have them. It's not to help us. They're there to make us money. That's the point.
Okay. What sort of cost, like those rip-wrap repairs, cost late I don't know.
Due to the commercial nature and the bidding war nature of those things, I can't share that kind of stuff, unfortunately, because those are all national contracts and stuff, so I can't share what we bid them out at. But like this one wasn't very lucrative because I botched the hours on it, something terrible, because the hill was twice as steep as I thought it was in the pictures, because they send us a scope via email. We bid it and win it or lose it. This one we won. In a normal circumstance, when it wasn't so steep and a shipping container was in our way and our riprap got delivered 100 feet from our location, I had to track that with that 308, 100 freaking feet, folks. So now I did have priced into the job a skid steer loader that I did not bring or use, so that helped compensate Boy, there's a carload of...
Crazy.
Oh, my gosh. Jeez. Poor kid. There were two little boys fighting in the back of that car. And
like
they were
punching.
The one kid was really whomping on the other one. Like, that's... Unfortunately, probably not a great home life going on there. But, alas, I judge, and thus ye be judged. So, anyways.
Okay. Greetings from Germany.
Guten Tag.
Matorka.
I think that's how
79.
they say it. Yeah, cool.
Road noise is a little
so-
loud. That's because we have these wonderful Mastercraft MXTs.
Corsair MXTs. Redneck Serenade is what that is, folks. So, yeah, we can't really help that. That's the cost of being redneck. So,
Yeah.
yeah. can't help
Okay.
it.
John Green Foundry says this is such a good idea.
Oh, it's brilliant. I really got to hand it to
Alan
myself.
String says howdy.
Okay. Now, for the podcast listeners, that's... Well, actually, no. If you comment, you're going to get a shout out. So there you go. For the Kid Contractor podcast, coming to you from the live and mobile
Company Cam
Studios, which we are starting to utilize that app, and it's pretty slick. Check out the Company Cam app. Go download it for free. Tell them Auman sent you. But it's pretty slick.
I think if you use the link in your profile, you get a month free.
Yes. Check out bio and Instagram. No.
What?
Instagram and bio. Link in bio.
Link in bio.
Hey, folks, this is what Paul Jameson would call excellence in broadcasting, folks.
You say that every time.
Well,
so.
because we are not excellent. Our excellence is lacking in broadcasting.
JLP Services wants to know when is this episode coming out on the Kid Contractor podcast?
Because we run hand to mouth a lot of times. This thing may come out tomorrow.
I think it makes our show like live. It's not content from months ago. It's content of what's happening now.
Right. This is very current.
Makes it very relevant.
This show will probably come out this Friday or Monday at the latest, maybe even tomorrow. We recorded a show yesterday on the way home. We were both tired and delusional, and I was disillusioned because I wanted to be
we talked about
done
a
with that
train
job
going
and a
by
fat
for
check in my pocket. And I was so
he was whiny on the podcast.
Yeah,
and
I was griping about the
I talked
job.
about a train that was going blocked the road for 5 minutes. So it's probably
it's probably not a great podcast. I may not drop it. We'll see. I don't know. I also don't want to get the back of this Chevy Malibu here either. So shout out lawn care guy there.
Hello from Evolve.
Toro.
Ben Neal's Evolving.
What's up?
Hello from Liberal Land Seattle. This Newsom Landscape. I'm so bad at people's names.
Is
oh my
it Newsom?
God.
I think it's because your eyes are bad.
I know. People were like, she needs glasses.
She does.
Okay.
Or LASIK touch.
Thunderbird PGH.
Yep.
Says, when is the shop ready for a visit?
Go ahead, Britt.
October 1st is the grand opening. Ready or not, there might not be walls there. I don't know what's going to be there. But we're opening the doors to the public on October 1st.
Yep. And if anybody has any connections to we're going to have private security there because we are putting an invite out the internet. So there will be private security. It'll be during the day. But if anybody has connections to Blackwater Group or anything, any crazy Navy SEAL-esque stuff that want to do a charity benefit thing and us being the charity case, it would be dope to have guys with MP5s, standing guard around the facility during the thing. It'd be so cool.
Okay.
So holla at your boy.
We'll talk about that later. I'm Dad Day 6666666.
Okay, watch this one.
Hello from PA, but I'm in Ohio for a couple weeks.
Okay, hi.
Liberty Lawn Care, haha, just listening to your podcast. People joining.
Okay.
Ben Bobcat says, just got one.
Awesome.
Zulo wants to know if we're in a helicopter.
We are in a helicopter.
We're the next best thing to a helicopter.
Imagine a helicopter that is black with windows, except it has a steering wheel, 4 wheels, and a bed full of the fuel cell of fame, by the way, folks, and they're riding with us, some ECM, some brooms, basic stuff. That's one thing that's cool with this job. We drove out to it. There was a rental Cat 308 sitting there that we ordered from our wonderful cat rep, Carla McCullough. Holler at her in Ohio if you need rental cat equipment. They take great care of us. Carla takes great care of us, that is. What questions we got, Britt? We got any questions?
Okay,
Bring some content to the podcast.
The multitasking from Bolt Landscaping and Maintenance. We actually were talking about multitasking the other day, and from my One Thing book, and it was after the last podcast, but what did it say? Multitasking is a lie.
It's a farce. Yeah, it's a
because
fallacy.
It said that you're not truly you're not being efficient at everything. So you think that you're doing a lot of things. I do it a lot. I'll go from I'll open a web page to start paying a bill, but then while that's loading, I'll go do something else, and I'm not being as efficient as I could. Or even working in the house with the kids, and the kids are interrupting us. You're never giving anything 100% of your effort. And so what they say with that is, so we're recording a YouTube video and doing live and a
old
podcast
cat Challenger
video.
up there, you see that? That thing is
yeah,
dope.
That's great. Okay. So we're trying to do 3 different things here at once, but we're not giving anything our full attention. So they said that, if you have an hour to commit to work that day, then give it 100% of your effort. Shut down all your distractions, turn your notifications off on your phone, do whatever you need to do. But being a good multitasker is not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, or really, it's kind of like the doctor said I had 80 of those HD things.
Yeah.
ADHD, something like that.
Are you spending too much time stuck in the weeds of job site documentation, digging through text and emails for photos and status updates? Manage your landscaping and hardscaping projects from consultations, bids and design to installation and finishing touches with Company Cam. Show off the spaces you bring to life with the before and after camera. Train seasonal hires with to-do list and communicate and share progress and designs with the client with galleries and project timelines, all from your phone. Grow your business with Company Cam, the only app every landscaper needs. Get started free today and 50% off your first 2 months at companycam.com/kidcontractor or in your app store.
John Henry Company says,
Henry.
hey, what's up, guys?
Hello.
I saw his wife out in the field the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Mulching, yeah.
Oh, man. Strong on plow.
Paul Jameson says, what's up? First-time caller, long-time listener.
Paul Jameson with the Green Industry Podcast.
J&B Lawn Landscape, howdy, y'all.
Now, we're driving through a part of town here that was the
Paul
weirdest
says those
thing.
tires are loud.
I know, man.
Paul,
Well,
send new tires.
yeah, Paul, get us a hookup on some tires here, man. I can't there's a sign here in this little town here of a wooden sign. Where are we? New Holland, Ohio. And it's a little wooden sign on a wagon, just a little wagon that says speed trap ahead. Some grumpy old timer put up to fight the man, I believe here. So,
Okay. Kubota Girl says, hey, Brittany. Hello.
well, what am I, chopped liver?
Chopped liver, yes. We have, is LMN strictly a hardscaping software? No.
New. We use it it's wonderful for us because I know for us, I can't vouch for it for lawn care because we do not use it for lawn care at all. You have to talk to Blake Albertson or the Spencers about how it's utilized for lawn care, or watch your YouTube videos, whatever. But for construction, landscaping, hardscaping, it's a wonderful estimating platform in that regard. And it's got some rough edges that they're ironing out at the moment, which are really cool, which are going to get modernized, I believe. We love LMN Time because it matches the estimated hours to or not to if you don't hit your hours. Like today, I'm not going to hit my hours on this job. So it's going to say, we're in the red by 200% on man hours. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Time app, for hurting my feelings. But it's great for that. So we are LMN ambassadors. So, take that with a grain of salt, I guess, if you will. But we wouldn't endorse his junk either. So we did look at some other softwares years ago. We used LMN for about 6 months as a paying subscriber. And then they reached out to us about being an ambassador for them. But that was 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow. Time flies. Tempus fugit, as my late Grandpa Auman says. That's Latin, doll, for time flies. Brittany.
Prairie Nursery says, stopped your podcast for your live in the cab of my 303.
Oh, man.
Well, now he gets the best of both worlds.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Yeah. Well, don't download this episode. So who was that again? We'll give them a shout out there on the Cat 303.
Prairie Nursery.
Prairie Nursery. Cool.
Okay. Paul says, excellence in broadcasting.
Only ever, Paul. Only ever, buddy. That's all we do here. To quote Ricky Bobby, I urinate excellence.
Those tires are proper Midwestern tires.
That's a little passive aggressive there, but I'm going to let it slide. So,
Jason Zulo says, I'm starting a political podcast. Will Caleb be my first guest?
oh man, I need a place where I can let loose. I got to come on under an alias, though, is the only thing.
Well, you didn't just give it away.
No, I'll go and I'll plant my feet. And I'll say my name on there.
Mitcon Dex, love the podcasting on the road.
Yeah, we'll see.
Matthew's Lawn Service, hello from Lancaster, PA.
Lancaster, PA. Lancaster, is it Lancaster? So we have a Lancaster, Ohio, where we're from, and everybody, Lancaster, is it Lancaster? No, it's Lancaster. You just say Lancaster. Folks, that's how it is.
Let's see. What is one thing you'd want to change in the industry?
Oh, geez. I mean, if I had
People
like...
don't respect
if I had
themselves
like
enough to charge the right prices.
if I had a magic genie... But, I'll tell you, I think the perception of the green industry is improving, though, and especially in the outdoor construction specialist end of things. I think there's much more, self-respect. Has grown as far as outdoor constructors go. And I think lawn care's got a way to go just because the industry is just a new industry and growing and expanding and all
we have
that.
a phone call to take now, too.
Oh, man. Okay, here we go. You're going to see how we handle a client phone call. We're not going to do that, actually. Camera's too hot. That's the end of the GoPro. It's dead. So
Okay. Anyways, so what's one thing you
that's
change?
okay. I got a backup GoPro right here.
Stop. What would you change about
What would I change about the industry? I would still love to make sure, and it's part of our goal at the Hardscape Academy, but I'd really like to see. I wish guys would figure out their finances sooner. Same as me, that didn't figure out his finances of his business, sooner, and it was to the detriment of my company. So I wish that the industry was better about picking up on the financial end of running a business faster and better. So that's a good question. Who was that?
How to Hardscape.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you say him. Yeah, Mike Plett's there. How to Hardscape. That's a good question.
Okay. John Henry says, how do you make time for your good clients that have jobs pop up in the middle of the season to keep them and scheduled projects as happy as possible?
Ooh, that's a good question. Learning to say no is super important, right? And even to your good clients. I think what we do when it's a really good client, we just figure out a way. I mean, it's just, I guess,
kind of
John,
make it happen.
That's just, we just figure out a way to get it in. And sometimes it's just not doable, but...
And it depends on what it is. Like if they're asking, asking for like a day job or a 2-day job, but if they're asking you to put in a whole patio,
right?
I'm sorry, we can't. We want to give everyone the same quality, same attention that we were able to give you,
right?
But we're happy to get you on the schedule, like the very next thing, like the very next opening. But if it's like, hey, can you clean up we're having a family reunion, can you come do mulching? We're going to figure out how to make it happen.
Now that needs to be the only clients we would do that for is not, we wouldn't do that for just a cold call, random caller, not a chance.
Without it being like triple rates.
Yeah. And then on top of that, that's only for our best clients that never, and we have clients like this, like everyone does, they never ask what our price is going to be. They don't question the invoice when it gets there. And so they will get that kind of service, right? They deserve that kind of service because they just need the stuff done. And we've only got a handful of clients like that, as our little company is, that we would drop everything for and do. No, at the same time, I have other clients that are just good connections. I would figure out a way to make it happen and then just be as politely as possible. Hey, next time, if you can give me some more heads up, it'd sure be helpful. And most likely they know it too. But there are people that will do that in a disrespectful manner, just thinking you have nothing else going on, or they just think they're more important than everybody else. You don't want to work for those kind of folks in that regard. So good answer, Britt. Good question.
Okay. How to Hardscape. What are your favorite non-industry related podcasts or audiobooks?
The Jordan B. Peterson podcast. Always. That's like my number one thing there.
I've been listening to the Entre Leadership podcast a lot.
You've been on that a bit lately. Dan Carlin, Hardcore History. I love that podcast. It's phenomenal. I would definitely encourage people to listen to The Blueprint for Armageddon. It's the history of World War I. It's fascinating.
That's an exciting one.
If you care about the future of anything, you should listen to history. So, it is somewhat industry related. Dirt Talk, the Build Wit podcast. It's really good. I enjoy it. Well, no, that's another industry one. I got into Ed Milet a little bit. Oh, man, there's so many good podcasts. Mike Rowe's podcast, because Mike Rowe and I speak to each other once every 38 years. So I like his podcast.
Yeah.
What else, Britt?
I don't have my laughing, crying buttons on this podcast.
This one can do that, though.
AJ Huffer says, it's pouring here, and I see you all got clear skies. How is your day going?
Where's that? Tell us where that is. I'm curious. But I tell you, we got 4 inches of rain. Was it last week, Brittany?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 4 inches of rain last week.
In 2 days.
Yeah, so it was gnarly. So some dry weather to work is nice.
Thoughts on Kubota skid steers and mini excavators?
Heck yes. Swihart's got a 6-ton Kubota. I think it's the 5.7. And Mulder's got the 8-ton. And both those guys love those machines. I've heard everybody has. I think Sutton's got a skid steer, doesn't he? A Kubota skid steer. I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about Kubota, so I don't think you can go wrong. I know the skid steer door design in the Kubotas is superior to Bobcat. We run Bobcat. I love Bobcat. But and I have no preference there really, other than the door design of the Takeuchi and Kubota is far superior. After that, I think ultimately it's just going to be brand loyalty, whatever brand you're loyal to for whatever reason. Dealer support is the biggest thing, really. So we have a John Deere dealer within 5 miles of our shop, and they're never friendly. They're never nice. They treat us like the pieces of crap we are, and I never buy from them ever, and I probably won't. And so, which really sucks because they're so close. And I would run John Deere everything if they were just friendly, but they're not, and I don't want to deal. And there's a couple people in there that I know from high school. They're nice folks, but I hate to throw them under the bus like that publicly, but they're never friendly when we go in there. And maybe my reputation precedes me, but it is what it is. So that long story short, Kubota, can't go wrong with Kubota.
Ryan H98 says, thinking about going...
By the way, Kubota, you can send your endorsement check to P.O. Box 203, Carroll, Ohio, 43112. Thank you.
Ryan H98 says, thinking about going fully land... See, now this podcast, people can see my eyes rolling.
Well, there we go.
Tired of mowing, thinking about going full-time. How did you make the switch?
How did we make the switch? Well, we went cold turkey. I don't recommend everybody do that necessarily. My general recommendation
But we weren't doing a ton of mowing anyway.
That's fair.
We were still doing a little bit of everything.
We had one guy mowing 40 properties a week, full-time. That's all he did.
All across the county.
Yeah, the route was better by then.
It was so inefficient that it didn't matter.
Well, the route when you were in was better than the route when I was running it in my previous company, which went bust. Jeez, I wonder why. I was going all over the county mowing like an idiot. And if you're mowing all over the county like that, I would say I'm sorry for offending you, but no, it's idiotic. Don't do that. With $6 fuel, you have to run the tightest, densest routes. Fullerton's a great example of it. Paul Jameson talks about it when
Naylor
his
has
lawn
a
care
pretty tight route.
Naylor's route is a lawn care rookie. His route's amazing. Who else? Oh, I'm forgetting people I know. But those guys run incredibly tight lawn care routes. You can make money when you run and only service certain neighborhoods. In Rookie's company phone line, in the voicemail, he says, we service and only service XYZ communities. And that's it. And so if you get his voicemail, that's a screening mechanism right there of screening calls. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I love it. So long story short on that.
It also might allow you to provide better pricing since you're also, since you're not picking up and starting.
Yeah,
does that work like that?
I don't care about competitive nature there so much, but it does allow. You could say it does allow you to be more competitive, and I'm using air quotes here, because mowing is brutal, and for the bulk of us, that run those mowing companies, but ultimately you have got to refine that route in your machines and your trailer and your truck setup. Like Jeremiah Jennings' Growing Green podcast and landscape or lawn care or whatever, he's got a box truck, and I think it's the coolest thing ever for a lawn care route. I think it's great. So how do you get out of lawn care? We got out cold turkey. Here's Britt's farm. If Britt, turn the thing out that way. This is what Auman headquarters is going to look like if we're not careful, folks. Flowers everywhere.
If you stop by, I'll give you a bouquet.
You will?
Yeah.
Free bouquets. All right, everybody, free bouquets. So, The way I recommend getting out of lawn care, if you can do it this way, especially if you're owner operator, immediately fire, and you should do this anyways, fire your slow pays, late pays, your out of route clients, and your worst clients, your most complaining clients. Fire them immediately. That's going to free up a couple days a week that you can focus on landscaping. Then refine that route, get it up for sale, see that it's profitable or whatever, and try to build your route to be sellable. I think that's like an ideal thing to do. And there's some folks that know doing that really well. Matt LaMarche and I did a podcast about that a long time ago on Kid Contractor Podcast here on Kid Contractor Podcast.
But if you're solely doing lawn care right now and you want to make the switch, start advertising to your lawn care clients like, hey, we're adding this service and this service, and they'll spread the word and start doing Facebook advertising, and just slowly like inch out there what you're getting into or what your plans are. Because you can't just quit lawn care and hope that someone calls you for mulching.
Yeah, unless you have a very established business, that's when you already do a lot of mulching in the spring. You just try to squeeze it in around the mowing.
I'm saying if you're just doing lawn care.
Right. No, even still, if you do and you don't do any mulching or anything.
If you just mow.
Right. Okay, I got you.
As we approach Labor Day, your friends at Green Foundry want to remind you to include lighting and fire features on the front end of every proposal going out. Lighting and fire has such a profound impact on your outdoor living projects that it is a must-have, not an afterthought. Our commitment to you, the contractor, is exceptional service, quick ship, and large inventory levels with constant availability. We are the largest business-to-business supplier of outdoor lighting and fire features in North America and are fully committed to providing superior outdoor lighting, fire pit, and fire feature products sourced from over 30 manufacturers for elevated outdoor environments. Our mission at GFC is to help people bring great design into the spaces where they live, work, and play. We are a team of design enthusiasts who are passionate about what we do and eager to help you realize your design visions. Visit us on the web at greenfoundryco.com, on Instagram at greenfoundryco, or call us at 215-444-5518.
But then, so start 80-20 in your route and just firing people or put the route up for sale and take that money you sell it for, be it assets or just the route itself, and use that money to put down on a mini skid steer loader or whatever, and go hard, go ham in the landscape. You can partner up with a local landscape designer, study up on landscape construction stuff. Check out the hardscapeacademy.com. We're going to have landscape install programs, all sorts of stuff there to teach you how to install landscapes, stuff like that. Check that out. But yeah, just start firing your crappy customers first, which you should always do anyways. Luke Scott on the podcast a few weeks ago here on a show, he was talking, they fire like 10% of their clients no matter what a year, which is so gutsy. So they fire the worst like 10% a year, which I think is so smart. It's so cool. And they asked their guys, hey, what do we want off the route this year that really didn't work out, or that something's changed and the route sucks, or the property's inconvenient or whatever. And they call out a certain percent, I think it's 10% of their mow route every single year. And I think that's really awesome. And so you're always bringing in the better and the best, clientele you can. I think it's really cool.
Okay, what is 194B says, what's the Hardscape Academy all about?
What is it about? It's to empower and educate the new hardscape professional. Right, Britt? So
right.
We started out we made our first, so when we first started on social media stuff.
I wish we could post like clips of it.
We could. I don't know why not.
Well, yeah.
So when I started in Snapchat and then in Instagram, I just daily vlog on our channel and stories and stuff like that of patios we're installing or retaining walls or whatever, and I just journal. I just talk about what we're doing and how we do it and make it kind of educational if I could. And I get so many questions, DMs on how to do it and all this stuff. Long story short, we decided we would make our own training courses, and in the world according to Auman and all that, right? Whatever. And then we made a DVD and then sent that out, shipped that all over the country via DVD for a long time, and then made an online download. But it's training courses, online training courses, a couple hours long each, one on retaining walls, one on paver patios, another one on that's coming out that's almost freaking done, seat benches, seat walls. And then we got a bunch of other stuff coming out here soon, trying to get our shop wrapped up. And then the content's really going to bomb out there. It's going to be dope. So got a lot of cool stuff coming for Hardscape Academy.
Okay. When's Incon sending you a tilt rotator? #buggy life.
Tilt rotator and buggy life are kind of one and the same, but not. They go together, but not the who asked that? I figured one of the same antagonizers as usual, but maybe not.
I don't remember.
So I don't think that's going to happen, but if they want to, they can ship to P.O. Box 203, Carroll, Ohio, 43112. No, after running that 308 excavator here on this job, which we rent them, I don't want to say often or regular, but we rent them regularly, I guess, whatever. The amount of production you could get out of a 308 or a 306 size machine, in other words, an 8 or 6 ton mini excavator with a tilt rotator on it, is, and Swihart and Mulder testify and evangelize for Encon, for example, to no end, and rightly so. Tilt rotator is an amazing feature and function to have on an excavator. And the same with the in-cab grade control, Tremble 2D and 3D and all that stuff. It's just amazing. And I could go at length of why those things are necessary if you're in that world and doing that kind of stuff. But the labor savings is just unreal. And then you don't need a grade rod man anymore if you got the 2D system or 3D system for your in-cab elevation stuff. Just amazing technology. And if you're an excavator and you don't have laser and elevation, 2D elevation, 3D elevation stuff in your machines, you are way behind. And you're not looking forward enough, in my opinion, that I see as a fact.
Potted Luck wants to know.
Hello.
Wants to know, what is the reason you use bag mulch? Do you use it for all jobs?
Okay, Britt, do you want to take it? Our guys,
no, because I don't want to argue about it.
Our guys prefer it. It is more expensive outright. Yes, true. What we have found and by the way, it may change once we have the shop set up the way we want.
So our current setup, and in the past, we've always had, at least back when I was mulching with the guys, we had a flatbed truck and we would put mulch on it. And then it seemed like the next day we would have to go to another site, but then we had to scoop all the extra mulch off, and then
because
just sat
we were
in a
also
pile.
Knuckleheads and didn't have dump trucks for the longest time.
Yeah, we didn't have a dump trailer.
So a lot of it was just
like
out of necessity of lack of equipment.
It just seemed like we were always scraping stuff off of places, and then just putting in a pile or wasting it at the shop. And so I was like, well, what if we do bags? Because then you can just move the bags wherever you need them. And we did it for a spring, and the guys liked it, and so it's just kind of stuck. And yeah, we can put it in the dump trailer and dump leftovers.
Or dump truck, whatever.
But we don't, currently, until we move everything over, we don't have anywhere to just keep a pile of mulch.
Good Lord, Circleville.
We don't have a shop loader, something that's committed there all the time, because we run 2 crews.
Which we do now, kind of. So that's the intention there.
So it's just never worked out. It's just never financially made sense. And I figured by the time the amount of mulch that we don't waste now.
Right. And we don't do a lot of mulching anyhow,
I think makes up for it. Yeah,
Come on.
I don't know. All of our mulching is done by 2 guys in a month.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of...
I think that's what it kind of breaks down to. But, we have 0 waste. So we literally have 0 waste with mulch.
Yeah. And yeah, 0 waste. And we know to the bag... to the
and our
2 cubic foot bag
on mulching are to the hour, because we use element time, and the guys clock in and clock out as soon as they get there, and they tell me what they did, and then they write down how many bags of mulch they used, and I'm able to calculate exactly how many cubic yards they did or whatever.
Exactly what the cost was on the job too. So, but again, we don't do a lot of mulching. We don't mulch warehouses, and we don't mulch apartment complexes. That's a different animal altogether. So I wouldn't necessarily advocate bags for apartment complexes and stuff like that. That doesn't make sense. But small, upscale residential homes that we do, it works out. And the guys, again, what they'll do is we'll set those pallets of mulch up on either in a dump trailer or on a truck or in the 4300.
Or I'll even just, once I get the mulch schedule built, I'll just have the mulch delivered on pallets to each person's house, and then the guys just
they'll take the buggy and they'll throw... I think they'll put 13 bags or something on the buggy. Isn't it some crazy number? Stack it in there, and they'll take the buggy around and throw those bags off, open them up. Now, it's a little wasteful on the bags and the things. I agree with that, and I don't love that part of it. It's kind of a quid pro quo kind of thing here. But we kind of rob Peter to pay Paul
Everyone
in that
is
case,
wasteful in some way.
right. So, but we believe it to be a good way to do it for us. The way we have been outfitted, that may change. Who knows? But again, we don't do big areas and big apartment complexes and stuff like that. If we did, it would be bulk. It would just be a whole different animal. And I don't frankly want to do those big areas. We're not competitive.
Well,
with
and
that
to
kind of
bring our
stuff at
price
all.
down on the bags, we buy a semi-load at a time. So
exactly.
I mean, we do what we can to bring
Yeah.
to make the pricing more cost effective. Okay. Scape.21 says, how much outdoor storage space do you have at the new shop? Not enough.
Yeah, I tell you, we got a lot, but not enough. Our main thing is we get a huge pile of soil there that needs to leave and to kind of finalize the layout of the building and the facility, but we're waiting on about 500 cubic yards of soil to leave. But yeah, I tell you, it's funny, the building could be bigger and we could have more acreage. But, again, Rome wasn't built in a day, as Pap says. So, but we're going to lay it out and optimize it to the best of our abilities.
What size excavator will you get next? A 5, 6, or 8 ton machine?
It's a good question. We don't fully know yet. We are kind of leaning 6 to 8 ton-ish. Just mobilization's the issue then, right? So 6 tonner you can haul. 8 tonners, a different animal altogether. I mean, that's a lot of machine, plus buckets, fuel, all that stuff. I think it's heavy fast. You got to have a big truck and CDLs, and really you got to have CDLs to haul 6 ton too.
I think the most versatile machine for us would be the 6 ton machine.
Probably, unfortunately. Yeah.
Like the 8 ton machine would be really useful when we need an 8 ton machine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 6ers.
But
probably
how small of a bucket? Like I don't know how small of a bucket can we put on the 8 ton machine?
I mean, you could put.
Can I still dig out a basin with it?
Oh yeah, but you got to get it there is the problem. And hauling an 8 ton machine around is you got to have a big truck for that. But more importantly, it's not.
I don't think it's possible to just
have
have an 8 ton machine. I
it's
think
the
you still
CDL.
need something smaller.
Yeah, we can't. Well, we can't get rid of the 303. We'd always have to have a 3 ton.
Which I talked about trading in the 303 for a micro mini
If we
I
got
don't know
a
if that's
6
what they're
ton,
actually
right.
called.
That's what everybody calls them. But yeah, I guess.
That's what I would consider doing.
Yep. And yeah, so
Ultimately,
that's a good.
probably the 6 ton.
Probably the
is
6 ton is
what makes the most sense.
Yep.
Currently.
6 ton tilt rotator and a good truck to pull it with.
And I will say, if anyone has one of those, you can send that to P.O. Box 203. Or I'll give you our actual address for that.
Yeah, we'll come get it.
Sorry, I'm behind.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay,
Lots
I
of
think
questions.
that's. I don't know. The phone's either. I don't know.
Is it frozen because it's?
It
on
might
the
be
vent there?
frozen. No, it's not frozen. I don't know if it's frozen or if
Maybe
that's
you're-
the end of the thread.
Well, it might be you're out of comments. Nobody's watching anymore. So, well, folks.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it. Oh, we're caught up. So everybody's done. At 40 minutes, we are done. So I think that's a good.
And we didn't crash.
We're not
And the
gonna
YouTube
crash.
video just.
Kept on rolling. So, folks, from the Mobile Company Cam Studios here today in the Chevy Silverado, we want to thank you for listening. Thank you for checking it out, and always blazing new trails with us, trying new things here that win or fail, or win or lose, or whatever.
Lamar's that's where we're flying to.
Far, far away. Flyway home, matter of fact. So, with that being said, folks, we appreciate you listening in. These elm trees here along this stretch of State Route 22 are absolutely gorgeous. Old stately elms right there. Very cool. Folks, again, from the Kid Contractor podcast, barring any other input or questions or
There's
whatever.
a cool building that I like.
There's Britt's building. She likes the architecture. It looks like somebody be at Ramsey's place. Robert Plaster Free Enterprise Center, or whatever that is, here at Ohio Christian University, driving by. So, folks, from the Kid Contractor podcast, Mobile Studios here, Company Kid Studios, we appreciate you listening in, checking it out, and being part of this never-ending social media experiment that we call Auman Landscape. Folks, we'll catch you on the next one. We'll see you.
Thanks for spending time with us today on the Kid Contractor Podcast. Visit thehardscapeacademy.com to access our free training courses. The link is in the show description. Connect with Caleb Auman at Auman Landscape on Instagram and on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and come back for the next episode of the Kid Contractor Podcast.